Hello and welcome back to Developer's Diary. In the previous tutorial, we have learned about multi-level approval hierarchy in Apex Workflow. Today, we are going to build an expense workflow. If the expense amount is greater than 25,000, then the line manager will approve the workflow. Otherwise, the expense will automatically approve. So for that, we have created tables. This table will store the information related to expense. Then we have another table. It will store the information of the comments if any user or approver give any comments on it. Then we have the workflow hierarchy approver table in which you can see that the hierarchy of the users. If the user one and the manager is two, which is the admin, and similarly hierarchy is going on. So let's log into your Apex Workspace. I have created an application with the name Expense App. Now go to the shared component and click task definition and create a definition. And this task will be approval task. Click create. Now add some participants. Person who will approve the workflow, which is the manager name. We have to pass this manager name as a parameter. Also, we need the ID of the request. Click apply changes. One thing that we have to do is to add a task detail page. So click create, click OK. So now we shall go to the workflow and create a new workflow. Yeah, we shall provide the name of the workflow. Then we have to provide parameters. The first one is the initiator. Then we shall create another parameter, and it will be the ID of the application. Then we shall create the expense amount. After that, we shall create a participant, which is the workflow owner. And it will be the initiator. Edit, click OK. After that, we shall create a variable for manager name. So after that, this is the version. What version? Now the first activity is the switch activity that will check the amount of the expense. So choose switch, and this time we have to check the variable, which is expense ID. We can use the expense expression so that we can add conditions here. Expense amount is greater than 25,000. After that, we should create two connections. First one is greater than 25,000. So it will be a true action. Then we have the second option, which is the less than 25,000. Make it as a false. So if the amount is less than 25,000, we have to create a execute code and set it as approved. So here we have table, date, set, status, approved, where ID is equal to the parameter value ID. Click OK. After that, we shall create another connection, make it as end, and name it as auto approved. Okay. Now for greater than 25,000, we need to get the manager name, which is the line manager. So we can do that. Get the line manager, and this time we shall write a query here. I shall provide the script, all this script in the video description. So click OK. So this script is actually getting the manager name and storing into the version variable that we have defined here. This is the manager name. After that, we shall create a human task activity. It means it is the notification that will pass to the keyboard person. Send notification task that we have created right now. After that, we have to provide the ID, which is the variable workflow variable and the manager name, which is the version variable. And one thing that we have to provide here is the outcome. Outcome is also the version variable. After that, we shall create a switch to identify the result of this notification. So check the result. We are going to check the value of this outcome variable. It is approved. If it is approved, then the condition will be true. Otherwise, it will be false. So we shall create a connection for approved, and it will be the true connection. And here we shall create another connection for the rejected, and you can say it is false. And in that case, we have to mark as, and but we shall create another activity here to set the status as rejected. So execute code, mark as rejected, and you can get the code from here simply and change the status as rejected. You did the query, click OK. And now we shall create a connection here and mark as and rejected. Now we shall create another activity, or we can set it as set the expense as approved. We are doing here arrange all the activities. So what we are doing, the first activity is to check the expense amount. After that, if the check expense amount is less than 25,000, then it will approve the expense and the workflow. If the amount is greater than 25,000, then it will get the line manager and send the notification to the line manager. And after that, we shall check the output of the workflow, or you can say notification. If it is approved, then we mark as approved and the notification. And if it is rejected, then we set the status as rejected and end the notification. So that's all for workflow. Now we shall go to the application, and here we shall create some pages. So the first one is workflow console so that user can see the workflow that he has initiated. Workflow dashboard. and the workflow details. Click create. Then we shall create another page for the approver, which is a unified task list. And click create. All the pending notification that requires your approval will appear in this unified task list. After that, we shall create an expense page, which is an interactive report. And here we can see that expense request report, and we shall add a form here as well. Expense request form, and it will be, you can say, a dialog. And click next. We have to provide the table name. Click next. Set the primary key and click create. We should go to the form. The here status will be read only. We should go to the processing and create a new process. My name is start workflow, and select the workflow here. Here we shall choose the expense workflow that we have defined. Now we shall pass the amounts, ID, and initiator attributes. So expense amount, and then we have the ID, and then we have the initiator. Initiator is the employee name. Click save. Now we shall set the default value, which is the app user. Click save. And now we shall go to the 7 and run the application. Click create. Enter the expense type, sports. Amount is 35,000 and click create. Now we shall see the workflow dashboard. So you can see this is the workflow that has been initiated, and we shall go to the admin. And you can see that 30 seconds ago we have initiated this workflow. So you can see that and click approved. Shall go back to the user, see the workflow. So you can see that first of all, it check the expense amount, then get the line manager, then set the notification, check the result and set approved. We can see also by diagram. So you can see that the path of the workflow, as well as we can go to check. You can see that the approved status. Also, we have another option here. Currently, the admin user unable to see the details of the expense amount and the approval. So how we can achieve that the approval person can also see that information. So we shall go to the task details. That is the page number 2 that has been created when we create the task definition. Go to the task detail, right click on it and create a region below and name it as expense details and choose form and select the table name. So this is the table name just passed here. Now you can see that we have all the attributes of the table and we have to create a computation here in which we are going to set the ID of this form. So you can write the query I have provided. You can simply copy here and paste it here. Click save and set the read property always. Click save. Now submit another expense. So this is the traveling travel expense and the amount is 63,000 and click create. So you can see that the workflow dashboard, the expense information. So you can check that workflow. First of all, check the amount of the expense, then get the line manager and waiting here for the approval. So we shall log in with admin user. Go to the unified task list and click here. So you can see the detail of the expense. So the approver can view the details. It is travel expense, amount is 63,000 and the initiator as well. And he can approve it. We shall go to the main user who has initiated the workflow. You can check our workflow here. As well, we can see the expense detail, which is approved. Now create an other expense, travel, and the amount is less than 25,000. 2000, click create, and you can see that it is automatically approved. One thing that we also want here to store the comments of the approver person. So how we can achieve that? We shall go to the processing, create a new process and name it as store comment info. For that, we shall create a command here, insert into, and set the table name here, values, p2 id, then provide the manager name here and the comment p2 comment text. For the manager name, we have to create another computation. So we shall create another item here and name it as manager name. And then we shall create a computation and set the manager name here. We can get the command which is the manager name. This is the variable of the task. Click save. Go to processing again. Store the P2 manager name. Click OK. And when this action will execute, you can see that we have already have a add command. So we can use the add command button here. It is a default created by the Apex when we have created the task definition and this detail page. So add command by default created here. So click save and then we shall create another expense, travel expense, and the amount is 29,000 and click create. Go to the admin user, your unified task list. Click on this task to get the detail. You can see the detail here, and you can see the add command button here. This is traveling expense. I am approving. Click add commands and edit and click approve. You can see the command has been added here, and we can click approve here. Log out and go to the user that has initiated the workflow. And here we can go to the expense form, and we shall create a region below, and it will be interactive report and mark as report. After that, we shall provide the comment table, and here the expense ID will be the equal to this, and we have to provide as a submit. We shall go to the expense. So you can see that the comments are also showing here. So I hope you have learned something useful at Developers Diary. And this is all about the expense related approval workflow. See you in the next tutorial.